Last we left off, you guys had returned home to the city of Royas, reconnected with Levy, spoke a bit with your good friend Aldrich, and spent some time shopping, getting ready for this wedding that just Valk was invited to, technically. But you know what? Why not crash a wedding, and why not wear white and be more extravagant? And actually, you made good friends with the shopkeeper in Royas, a dwarf woman who seemed happy and eager to assist you in your revenge, maybe. At the very least, you're intent on showing up to Valk's mom's wedding, being those guys. With that, you headed back to the house for the evening. You hung out, I assume had dinner. Was there anything anyone wished to accomplish during this time?
Demir is going to try to take a bath without anyone noticing. Because she knows what happens when people get in the bath around Lish, so she is going to do her best to stealth bathe.
All right. Are you going to the master bath or the upstairs bath?
Oh, the master bath. I mean, it's the bathtub connected to her room, so but she is going to try and stealth it. That's a 16 stealth.
All right. Lish, your passive perception is higher than that, I'm pretty sure.
It is.
So you see Demir trying to act slick as she slips upstairs and heads into the master bathroom.
So sneaky. But for what?
And just as a quick reminder, as I said, the room's been almost completely redone. Tiles on the floor have been replaced. There's lovely dressing screen. Bathtub has been replaced with a larger, newer one. There's a vanity that's been cleaned up, and the mirror has been replaced. And there's lots of scented perfumes and oils on the aforementioned vanity. Clearly to be intended to be added to the bath.
Oh, I mean, she's absolutely making full use of the new utilities. I mean, this is like, aside from when we were staying at Styx folks' place for like an overnight, this is the most like civilized boarding that we have had for a while. So Demir is taking advantage.
All right. Does anyone else wish to do anything?
Little Minklish coming and diving into the bathtub.
Shit.
Kerplop. Paddle, paddle, paddle.
Demir will provide a platform of her hands for him to stand on so that he isn't working his little mink legs too hard.
He'll just come and bother her a little bit.
kind of sighs, like, there's hoping for a minute alone, but gives him a little scratch under the chin, like, it's okay that you're here.
You can't talk as a mink. All's good.
Exactly. She doesn't have to talk about nothing to a mink.
Dr. Lish, thank you very much. Certified bath therapist. He takes his career very seriously.
AISH certifications are not applicable in the prime material plane.
That's why he got it in the Feywild.
Anyway, Valk's just drunk off her ass, just thump in her bed.
All right. Anyone else?
Last we left Zoda, she was teaching Egris, I believe, to how to throw knives correctly.
That's right.
So they probably finished that up. And she did actually show him the knife as promised. For sake of description, it's an almost like kukri shaped knife where it goes like, where it's got that little bump, little indent. It's got a fair few carvings on it, but it appears to be completely orcish in origin.
I'll tell you what, roll just a general dex check
Uh-oh.
just to see how well this goes. I make you roll 2, so don't worry.
Well, I already know it's going to be bad. I just need to figure out what her modifier is. Check, not a save, so that's a +1 for a total of 4. Uh-oh.
So while you're showing Egris this knife, you try to do that thing where you like swirl it around in your hands to try and look cool and end up like cutting your palm a little bit. You know, as you do. Egris, however, then takes the dagger from you, swirls it perfectly, and then throws it right into the center chest of the mannequin you guys dragged out here.
Damn. So it sort of like keeps her palm up against like a piece of, I don't know, like a bracer or a piece of cloth or something. She's like trying to make sure it's not bleeding everywhere. And just sort of goes like, I would have appreciated if you asked first, but that's still very impressive. Good job.
He kind of beams a little bit and his tail kind of lashes back and forth.
She'll probably head inside after that. Keep an eye on him as she leaves to go grab a bandage real quick.
All right.
And then she'll come back out and and watch over and make sure he's not cutting himself or anything. Not that she's too concerned about that. Until it's about time to turn in.
He's doing fine. He's actually strangely skilled with the knife for a 12-year-old, but it's fine, I'm sure.
Totally not a sleeper assassin or anything.
Anyone else? Valk, at some point during the night, Esme Tri-C kind of floats in through the wall and starts looking at your bookshelf. But she can't actually interact with any of the books, but she's looking at them.
Valk just kind of rolls over. And for like the next Valk asks Esme if she's interested in reading any of them.
So you may recall that she can't actually speak to you. She can just mouth the words. And when she sees that you're awake, she turns and looks at you, and you have a fairly decent insight. You can tell she's scolding you for being awake and trying to tell you to go back to sleep. kind of giving you the mom treatment of like, you should be asleep at this point. Rest. You've got school tomorrow.
Well, just kind of thumbs up, thump.
All right. So the evening passes without issue. You all come to consciousness, and the morning is yours. If there's anything, sorry, my son's an idiot. If there's anything that you'd like to accomplish before heading out, teleporting places.
Are we teleporting somewhere? Oh, are we going to the wedding? No, we can still have time before.
Didn't like whistling have a message for Valk, or was that a different time? Because I think Valk needed to teleport somewhere and then back.
I believe that was a different time.
We already took care of that message, but that is going to be our starting point anyway for transversing to the wedding. And it was
it Tasha?
Yeah, I believe we had.
Tasha.
I believe we had to slip by not Avitex, the Pious to check in with Barhasa and Tasha.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, sorry, which city is Tasha at?
Pious, I believe, is where Varhasa's tower is.
Yeah.
I keep getting it mixed up with Avitex because it feels like a capital city, but it's not.
So we
The
could hop
first
to
proper city you went to, and therefore it is the capital.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
So hop to Appius, then hop to Aira because that's our closest jumping point to the wedding. And besides, it's Valk's plan since we're trying to gather what allies and resources we can, speak more directly with Whistling Torrent about such things.
Sounds like a plan.
Do we have anything that we needed to get done in Royas? I feel like didn't Lish have like a mission from the
Yeah, I need to talk to the one professor about a tuning fork, about the mission that she had me go on to find why the different creatures were leaving the plane. Ooh.
Did at least get that slip in on Lish's behalf?
Oh, the permission
did
slip,
she?
yeah.
Yeah, like it was like 1 or 2 sessions ago. Just like it was before all the shopping, that's for sure. Lish, Zoda was like, I mean, is there anything I can do for you guys? Are you ever here? And Lish was like, yes, actually.
Yeah, Demir had a permission slip and Zoda was gonna turn it in. I don't know if that came to be.
Zoda
She did report that she's turned it in, but bureaucracy being bureaucracy, it's probably going to take a while for it to get processed and approved.
Yeah.
That's my recollection, at least.
I mean, I don't
A boy cameo.
He's been like poofed up and running around the house for like 3 minutes straight.
He demands combat.
Anyway, the permission slip has been turned in. It might take a bit. You could check in with your friend of the Soul Caller, who is the mistress of necromancy at the Katia Institute. Aldrich is, as far as you know, busy trying to reach out to his former party members so that they can all go off to the Turning Spire and do some investigation there. There's also Professor Idun, who is the master of, or the professor of Pact Studies. And let's see, who else have you interacted with? There's also Allseer Euthalia, who is the master of divination that you guys briefly interacted with on your way through Royus for the first time heading north to the Unclaimed Lands. You may recall that she's a Medusa.
Well, we've only really talked to the hag as far as extraplanar creatures, but we do at least have more of an idea of what's going on. Is it worth speaking to that professor about it?
I think we definitely should check in with our, what is it, shadow render caller professor,
Soul sucker,
necromancer, dead eater, whatever fancy titles they make up for themselves.
I worked hard to come up with those titles for each of the schools of magic. Will not be slandered like this.
And Lish will have disdain for every single one.
You're trying to make Demir and Lish like wizards. That's your first fault.
All right.
Would you send a message to her, Demir, or should I send a message to the university?
I think you might have a more effective way of getting a message across. I only have message, which wouldn't work, or this guy, my scrying orb, but
I mean, my alternative is just give a letter to Bright Mellow and has some Bright Mellow find her.
I mean, Bright Milo might be the best way to do it. I would rather hold on to my speaking scribe today, just in case, if we're planning to go to a pious.
Okay, so what I might try and do then is scry on her first and get her location and then send Bright Mellow to her.
All right. So you pull out what do you need for the spell scry? Like incense and a mirror or something? Whatever. You pull out the material component, set it up, create the little, I assume you're casting it as a ritual, to scry on her. And you focus in and your vision sort of leaves your body and soars towards the Katia Institute. And you see the woman that you had spoken to before, human with brown skin and long hair, angular features. Her hair is back in a braid today, and She seems to be instructing a student on the proper verbal, somatic, and material components of poison spray spell. And this seems to just be a one-on-one session.
Great. So she's in her office then?
She's in more of like a classroom,
Mm-hmm.
but it's clearly within the institute itself.
Okay. Yeah. So I will describe her location to Bright Mellow. She's at the institute in one of these rooms. Da, 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 da.
All right.
All
And
right.
what do you write in this letter to her?
This is Lish. Da, 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 da. Back for a time in the city. Would love to meet regarding our arrangement. And he folds it up small and gives it to Bright Mellow to put in his little acorn bag. And
Right.
sends him off.
Bright Mellow flutters off. It's not long before he eventually returns and indicates to you that she is amenable to meeting this morning between her classes.
Okie dokie. We'll wander over to the university then before it gets too late into the morning. I don't know if anybody else wants to come with me.
Demir and Lish just like heading out for the day, like, bye. We know we're your transportation, but we'll see you in a bit. Demir and Lish are the only one with car keys. It's great.
So just to make sure I'm following along properly and stuff, the Katia Institute that is in Royas?
Yes.
Okay.
Royas is known for its two larger schools. There's the KTA Institute, which is like the magical school. And then there is the College of Arts, which is technically it has a focus on like bardic stuff, but there's other stuff that goes on there too.
Yeah, I knew Royas had a big magic college. My brain for some reason was like, Katia is further north or whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, no, I don't think that's right.
All good. Oh, what? Don't yell
We're
at
going
me.
to the Wizards College. If anyone wants to come with.
Tobias says we'll stay at the house. He's gonna start working on filling out entries in the notebook that he bought.
All right.
When they're announcing their head out, Aaron will ask, "Oh, which college?"
The Wizards College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we might be able to group our things together, but no, I gotta go to the other one.
And
Okay,
what
do
will
you-
you be doing at the other one?
Aaron's just gonna wink at Lish.
That does not answer my question.
You
Preparing.
are a very talented man at being very suspicious. The evil laughter doesn't help either, Aaron.
Nothing bad.
Press X to doubt.
Well, if it's not so bad, do you want to look at the test? Or are you going to be mysterious?
I'm sorry, you cut out a bit on that.
Sorry. Do you want to walk into town with us? Or are you going to be mysterious off on your own?
I can go into town with you. That makes sense. We ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. Go walking down, going towards the thing.
All right. Irim, do you stick with them, or you diverge off when your paths diverge?
Yeah, he'll move off when he needs to split off for the art college.
Okay. So I guess we'll start with Demir and Lish. Bright Mellow is able to give direction on where to find the soul collar. Once again, her name is the Vanya Sultana. And she seemed to be wrapping up with that same student you saw in your scrying vision when you arrive. Sort of a younger, like early teens, half-elf boy with dark hair, and he's seeing that someone is coming in to talk to his professor. It's kind of just like hurriedly packing up his stuff and just like running from the room. Let's see, I can't recall what accent I had for her. That's fine. But the soul caller greets you. She says, I was wondering if I'd hear from you again.
Well, we had an arrangement.
Cool. And I did happen to notice that there was paperwork submitted for the Institute's tuning fork for the Feywild just a day or so ago. I assume that's on your behalf, but I would be glad to expedite the process if we can work things out.
Easy enough. Let's find somewhere to sit. And
Students' desks are not to your liking then. She kind of just waves her hand lazily at the classroom.
it's not particularly comfortable. Surely this university has a nicer set of chairs.
We can chat either in my office or there is the staff lounge.
Your office, and he'll kind of gesture.
Very well.
Away.
And this hot goth woman just starts leading the way down the hall to her office. And at this hour in the day, it's morning, so many of the classrooms are pretty active. There's lots of students in the hall chatting with one another, talking about any potential discoveries that they might have made but really haven't, or discussing how many runes are in one sigil versus in another, and if that makes a difference, and that sort of thing. Wizard speak. But
Bunch of fucking nerds.
seriously. But the soul caller takes you to her office. It looks largely unchanged from the last time that you saw it, with the desk, everything stacked very neatly. A large window with dark blue curtains pulled aside to let in the light. Bookshelves along the wall. She takes the seat on one side of the desk and waves a well-manicured hand towards the other two chairs that are in
Go and see it.
there. All right.
I'll have a look around. This is the first time we've been in her office, I think.
Oh, okay.
I believe so.
I can't recall, to be honest, but yeah, I mean, it's very well organized, very fancy.
Or were we in here when she wasn't in here, perhaps, that one time? And we thought about digging through her desk and we didn't.
That sounds about right.
Okay. We'll just get comfortable for a minute.
All right.
Demir is going to, like, while they're chatting, because she's just here with him, she's going to, like, kind of look at the books on the bookshelf, just kind of browsing a little, seeing if there's any interesting titles or anything.
Nothing out of the ordinary that you would expect. There aren't any like spooky necromancy tomes, but these are more about like magical theory, runic theory, stuff like that. Stuff that it's probably a good idea that it is available to the students that come into her office. Mostly it's talking about like magical basics, stuff like that, a little bit of history of magic. There's one book you notice that seems to be on like theories of true polymorph and what it really means for something to be permanently transformed and stuff like that, but nerd shit.
Yeah, Demir's just looking at the nerd shit before she gets too bored, so.
Yeah, so Lish will start by kind of, reiterating the finer points of their deal, just being like, as we discussed, I found a bit more information talking to some of these extraplanar creatures that we've come across. We've gotten a little bit more information on why they are staying or leaving.
She pulls out a piece of parchment and a quill and starts taking note on the things that you're saying. Every now and then she will make a noise of like she's listening, and she's still listening, she's just writing everything down. And she says, I have heard that there is when you start talking about as Helma, I will say
Okay,
that
I also want to say that he's probably not gonna like refer to Esthelma specifically by name if he can help it.
Yeah.
Like that hag at the thing over there.
When you start talking about the hag,
That hag with the kids.
I've heard that there is a very powerful coven of hags in Southern Ireland.
Oh, have you now?
Was this hag that you mentioned a member of this coven? You can see that she's still like writing things down.
Lish doesn't know that she's a part of any covens, right?
Yeah, she is
She's independent.
she's low key like a free agent. She kind of just does what she wants. She is well within her power to ensure that both her daughter and Peak, if she wanted to, could become her coven, but she is not.
Yeah, she can make her own thing if she wanted to, but she's like, I'm good. Unless she'll kind of shrug and say, that is not the impression that I get from her. She is very happy by herself.
All right.
What more have you heard of this other coven? I am curious as to how you have heard of them.
Mere rumor, but I have heard that, well, typically when stories reach your ears of witches that live in the wilderness, there's a fair chance that they are hags, especially if they do not seem to interact with mortals of any real regularity. Rumors reached my ears because apparently someone's been kidnapped by these witches. I do not know more than that.
Kidnapped?
Somebody. Just any village child or anyone of importance.
That is quite the accusation.
Well, I am on the other side of the continent as these witches, hags, whichever. So I cannot speak to them. That is merely why I asked.
Lish,
This hag that you mentioned was in relation to these witches.
I find it very hard to believe that they would kidnap a child. Lish will pull out his map and kind of outroll it onto the desk in front of them and kind of point towards, what is it, like the south, you said?
Yeah, she says somewhere in the woods of Southern Ireland.
And pull up the actual map here. So down, like, still on this continent or on one of the other continents?
Still on this continent.
So if Lish kind of trolls his finger over the map, where does she seem to indicate? Down by like Riverwatch or down by like Azura?
She said in Island, not in Thea. So it would be
different continent then, right?
Different country.
Different country on the same continent. It's across the mountains where we were in the Turning Spire. That's Island.
Oh, I see. It's not labeled.
Not on that map, but if you go to roll 20, she indicates somewhere closer to Leodora or Sishara.
Okay, give me a second. Pull up the roll 20s.
pinging thereabouts as well.
Could be in this area, could be in this area, could be in this one, like somewhere in this general
Okay.
area.
Okay. I see it. All right. So Lish will kind of make a marker on the map for where she's gesturing. And roll the map back up.
All right.
But he'll tell her about oh, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Lish will tell her just kind of about a couple of the different things. I'll shoot you he'll tell her kind of in vague terms about these different things.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Just kind of generally about every kind of like planar weirdness that's happened. And how most of the creatures don't really seem to be leaving except for the hag.
Okay.
At least not right this second.
There is a sense of general uneasiness among the Fae you interacted with. For most of them, but the most powerful, a lack of ability to do anything about said uneasiness. But she takes us all down and nods, clearly thinking.
Does Lish mention the like Auril winter court stuff, or does he just kind of leave that vague?
That doesn't have anything to do with people fleeing the plane.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I was asking.
If she has more information, connects dots and stuff. I don't know. Ariel helping Fiola take over the plane of the Winter Feywild is not necessarily connected to the turning spire and collapse of timelines that are causing Faye to want to flee. So
I had thought that it was.
well,
Auril was fleeing.
It's
As well.
It's tangentially related, but the Feywild shenanigans are a consequence of Tam's destabilization.
It's not directly. It is a consequence, not a cause. Ariel is just protecting her own ass. She's not doing anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Lish kind of looks to Demir when he kind of runs out of Faye to talk about, and says, well, there is a little bit more information as far as our current mission, but I don't know how relevant it is to Faye specifically. And kind of like looks to Demir like, eyebrows, should I tell her about the turning spire situation?
We did encounter at least one quasi planar being out in the woods, although none of us have been able to find any clues as to its origin or reality, but we called it the Mask Maker. And it indicated that whatever planar disruptions are happening, that its origins might be in Island as well, the Turning Spire specifically.
How interested are you in just the Fae and extraplanar beings fleeing? Or are you interested in the root cause of what's causing the issues leading to the fleeing?
My intention asking you for information on the interplanar beings was to try to figure out what is going on. If you have more information that you're willing to share, I would be most appreciative.
Well, we were told might be originating from the Turning Spire.
How
We
much
have no idea what it might be, but
how much do you or your people interact with the other academy? Frequently, or are you bitter rivals?
The College of Art,
Yes.
we have a working relationship with one another. We're not necessarily rivals. We teach different spheres of influence.
How well do you know what is Alaric? What is his name? Levy's professor friend?
Aldrichitis.
Alaric. Aldrich. Do you know him? Spoken to him? Interacted?
He's my co-worker, so we speak every now and then, discuss the students and their needs, discuss anything we may have noticed among them. I can't say that I know him personally, but we have a friendly enough relationship with one another.
Mayhaps we should introduce the two of you a little bit more intimately to discuss recent findings.
our party has been working with Professor Aldrich.
I see. Okay. I suppose I will reach out to him. I believe he's out today, but it was an easy matter to send a message to him.
Yes, perhaps you could even all join us at our house. We could further discuss.
And where do you live?
That one manor where all the does it have like a non-murder house name? Did we decide on
Called the Tragedy House.
When Levy signed all the paperwork, she renamed it the Wild Roses House.
Yes, because everyone in town will know where the Wild Roses house is by name alone.
They
We-
updated the directory, obviously. Google Maps has been revamped, so
We have taken over the large manor that has been largely unoccupied for a long time, if you are familiar.
I am indeed. I've heard rumors in town of renovations going on.
Indeed.
Very well. I shall reach out to Aldrich as well as some of my other colleagues who are potentially interested in trying to figure this out and arrange a meeting at your house.
Then we are in agreement, and we will meet again soon.
Very well.
I would, with this information we've provided you and potential further information, very much appreciate your help in expediting the request for the tuning fork
Of
as
course,
quickly as you are able to.
I keep my promises. I will do what I can.
Lish just kind of sighs, a little frustrated edge to it, and lean back in the chair. Well, I believe we have imparted as much information as is useful currently. Demir, do we need anything else from this good woman?
I don't believe so. Thank you for your time.
Any other strange requests you'd asked of us before we depart you?
None that I can think of. And I'll tell you what, roll a general persuasion check.
Both of us, or just Lish?
Probably Lish, because he was the one doing the talking. You were going through her things.
Yeah, valid.
15?
15. I will tell you that the current working theory is that the planes are collapsing in to a singularity. That is the best that I can guess right now, but of course I need more information.
When you say singularity, you mean all collapsing into one plane or collapsing into non-existence?
I believe that one will lead to the other. For now, it seems that the planes are falling, at least in my hypothesis, falling into themselves and onto the material plane, and that will lead to the utter destruction of the planet system as we know it. My understanding, and he kind of pauses, trying to figure out how to phrase this. If the planes are supported by pillars, it's as if these pillars, some of them or pieces of them, have been removed and placed elsewhere. I cannot say where, and that is causing the entire thing to collapse. But once again, that is merely my hypothesis.
Well, it is an interesting theory. I'm sure we can get the best minds on it.
I wish you luck in gathering more information.
We're going to need more than luck. All right, well, good day to you. We will meet again soon.
I guess we'll have a party of wizards.
Avery, you cut out there a bit.
Just, I guess we'll have a party of wizards at our house. Good day.
All right. we will now shift attention towards Erin. Erin, you are heading off towards the College of Art. What are you up to?
Yeah. So uh he doesn't know what, specific like building he'd be heading towards. So first order of business is finding some sort of map or like general information center, or just borrowing that, walking into the first building he can see, and asking the people at the reception desk if they have any buildings or classes, exhibitions currently going on for dancing performances.
All right.
Oh, practicing.
You are directed to the School of Performing Arts. For lack of a better descriptor, this seems to be a dance studio, various different rooms. Kind of like rec centers, how there's like the kind of big school like hallways, and then the different rooms, and like some people are doing gymnastics and some, and like yeah, that kind of vibe. But there are a couple of classes going on currently. One seems to be modern dance, and the other seems to be dance as expression.
Ooh. He's gonna go in and look at windows for both, and shoot a wistful glass at the expressive dance. But I think he'd probably try to go in, or like if they have a viewing room or something for the modern dance.
Modern dance. All right. So there isn't necessarily a viewing room. This is a place for them to practice and tumble and dance, and the class is being taught by a very handsome human man. He's very athletically built, with kind of tan skin and dark brown hair pulled back into a ponytail. And he is instructing the students on how to dance.
Yes. Yeah, I think for purposes, he's just gonna like try to quietly come in and like sit down in a corner and see if anyone tells him he's not allowed to be there.
Roll a stealth check.
That'll be a that could be worse. That'll be 12.
12? Okay. Someone does notice you. She is a transgender Leonin woman with a trimmed mane.
Ooh.
She definitely notices you enter, but doesn't say anything, as she is currently in the process of learning a Madhabi dance.
Yeah, he's just gonna shock up in the corner. He's brought along the sketchbook, and he's just gonna be like taking notes on what they're doing and seeing what he can absorb of the dance.
All right. Let's see. For the sketchbook, why don't you roll a performance check?
Alrighty. Ooh, fuck yeah. That'll be a nat 20 for a total of 22.
Nice. You have got it down. You are noticing like the lines of their bodies and their movement, and you're able to create like these really beautiful sketches of these people as they dance.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And now for gathering what information you can on Madhabi dance, make a wisdom check.
Alrighty. Ooh. That'll be an 18.
You're feeling pretty good, like you're understanding what they're doing. You understand that this dance is what they're doing, how the steps are going. You feel pretty confident that you'll probably be able to replicate it later. Maybe not the whole thing,
yes.
obviously, because like this is a class in a series, but at least this part of the dance that they're working on today.
Oh, wonderful. And does the guy like mention that it's, you know, a dance from Mahaba, or is that just like flavor text that I as a player know?
He does.
Wonderful. Hell yeah. Well, I think that successfully accomplishes all my objectives today.
All right. Anyone else? You up to shenanigans with the kids or the ghost or Sniv or the brain back at the house?
How coherent is Valk? Like, is she nursing a really bad hangover and stuff? Because I know she got fucking wasted.
She wouldn't be up too early, but she would roll out of bed like between 10 and noon and kind of be looking around the house for some sort of physical activity she could do to be productive, and kind of settles in on chopping firewood.
Okay. I guess then in the earlier part of the day, like before Valk is up and about and doing things, Tobias will be filling out his notebook with entries. And then once she's active and it's clear she's not like overly hungover and things like that, or whatever, Tobias will go and find her outside. When he approaches her, he says, "Val, there's something I want to talk to you about."
At which point, just Chunk finishes the block of wood that she was cutting and is just like, go ahead.
What you did yesterday when we were at the changing room at that one shop.
Yes.
Do you know what you did was wrong?
You did not want to discuss your skills in public?
There's that, but do you know when you reached up to look over the stall wall, are you aware that what you did was wrong?
Isn't the stall for not dealing with strangers?
The stall is to give the person inside privacy. What you did was violate my privacy without my permission.
you can kind of see the cogs turning in Valk's head, and she's just kind of like, fuck. I I'm very sorry. I didn't mean it in that way, and I'm sorry.
I can understand where misunderstanding stems from. We are friends. I would like to assume that we are good friends. But I want to make that clear, or I want to make it clear that that does not give you permission to do things like that. And I just ask that you do not do it in the future.
I will do my best to respect your privacy in the future, and I'm sorry for this breach of trust.
And that goes for other people as well. Generally, if someone is changing, it's more respectable to grant them that privacy, to either turn away or knock on a door or not, hop over a stall.
I think she would just kind of be nodding along at this point.
Yeah. Well, I've made my point clear. And I did say that I was willing to talk to you about my abilities. So what is it that you wanted to ask me about?
It feels stupid now, but she kind of clears her throat, straightens up, tries to kind of pull herself back out of the shell she was kind of creating. It has to do with, are you, obviously you cut your hand to activate the ability. Does it have to be the hand? Are you just trying to access blood, or is pain part of it? Or because there's other places on the body that hurts a whole lot less.
Tobias kind of hums at that, thinks about it for a moment and says, well, predominantly it's the act of using my blood that allows me to do what I can do. The main reason why I do my hand is because I have to imbue, it's like I'm imbuing my bow with it. What I touch with my blood is what becomes affected. And if I release it, if I let go, then it loses that that aspect. Main reason why I do the hand is because it's, well,
efficient.
Yes, predominantly, yeah. It's and Tobias will actually pull out his bow and show Valk the specific notch that was carved into the bow, such like at first glance the bow is very obvious, just like a nice looking war bow and stuff, but towards the actual like grip and stuff, Valk will see that it has been modified to have a sharp I'm trying to think if it would either be either part. I guess probably the most efficient thing would be just like having a little sharp piece of metal embedded into the hilt, so it looks like a decoration almost. So it's so subtle that most people would probably just think, oh yeah, it's like a little metal decal, unless you actually like consider, you know, where the person's holding it and things, slash, you know what it would be used for. But he shows it to her and says, it's also a more subtle spot because since, well, I do archery and we're an adventure party and stuff like that, if I cut my thumb and it starts bleeding, very easy to make the excuse of, oh, I was grabbing one of my arrows and I accidentally touched the arrowhead, or oh, I was reaching for my knife or my sword and I gripped the blade wrong. It's easy to hide.
And Valk's just kind of like really thinking on it, and is like, that does make sense. You could also have like some sort of attachment to your firing glove or a ring or something, and you could nick your hip or whatever.
That is true. I haven't considered that too much, but that might be something to look into, especially if we're having, if we occasionally have strangers join us on excursions.
Why I suggest that is it's also then not in the way for if you're firing normally, and also then you're not damaging what you're literally fighting with.
Well, the current method that he uses doesn't inhibit him, because like when you're generally holding a bow, it's, you don't want to hold it too tight because that can kind of help fuck up your aim a bit, slash, I don't remember the actual wording of it. It's like how you properly hold a bow and things, and then his bow specifically was modified to have that on it so it wouldn't damage it, but yeah, Valk does bring up a good point of potentially looking into getting something that he can hide on his glove, or at least maybe even hide on his belts.
A trick ring would actually work pretty well.
Where would I find one? It'd be, because the problem is it would be hard to like go up to a blacksmith or to a jewelry smith and explain to them, I need you to like make a ring that has, you know, a little prong or whatever, like to pop out. Like that, I don't want them to think I'm an assassin, gonna poison someone, or like give away what I am.
So we would have to go to an unsavory blacksmith.
Or I could just ask my dad.
You could ask your dad.
There's a whole tribe of them that could probably help. Regardless, you bring up a good point, Valk. I think I might look into that for the future. Push comes to shove, if the prong of my bow breaks, it'll give me an alternative. During Tobias's explanation as well, stuff when like he's showing off, or not showing off, but like demonstrating about how the general process of how he activates his hunter rights and stuff like that, Valk can see a very like noticeable scar, or at least like his thumb is well scarred.
Do any of my spells deal with scarring?
I was just thinking it was a nice little flavor.
I know, but it's how Valk would show fucking care for a friend. Oh, so that's a different option. So while I look into the specific spells and what does what, you can kind of see Valk she kind of raises her hands and kind of focuses in. And you see like a little swirl of light happening. And then she kind of claps her hands together and the light has turned into a gold ring with a little flippy do on it with a spike. At which point she hands it to Toby and is like, something kind of like this.
Oh shit! How'd you do that?
As you're like looking at it and kind of flipping the hook in and out, kind of going like, oh, that actually works pretty well. It just kind of fizzles into light and disappears. At which point, Valks, I have been looking into becoming stronger with my own inherent magics as opposed to solely the ones that I get from other planes, because with the disruption of the planes, I don't want to be without resources.
That makes sense, yeah. Well,
Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to do anything longer lasting, but I can at least do a quick proof of concept.
no, yeah, that's honestly, that's an excellent first step. The fact that you can actually hold it too is impressive.
It's only 6 seconds for a little trinket like that, but hey, it's small things. Double checking. But yeah, do I have what the fuck is the cleric spell list? It's huge as hell.
Yes.
They're more caster than half caster, so yeah.
Yeah, and I have 3 different pools of spells I can pull from, so
I don't envy you.
Man, good luck to that.
Yeah. Does Lesser Restoration have anything for scarring, or is it literally just like minor afflictions like curses and such?
Lesser restoration is more like lesser afflictions. I would say that greater restoration can do some scars, but not all of them. If you really want to remove scars altogether, that would require something bigger like heal.
which I don't have access to yet. I'm just looking at my other spells as of right now.
Let's see. She's a
Yeah, I
cleric,
can
a
at least
paladin,
say that Tobias's
sorcerer.
scar on his thumb, it's because he's done it for years in the same general location and stuff or another. It's definitely a like it's a thick scar because it's been gone over so many times.
Pretty in there.
Yeah, it's not a faint thing.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think I could sort these by class as well. Stuff that she definitely would have access to. Oh, probably something to like keep looking over here. I can link something with the comprehensive search tool as well, if that's helpful.
I'm just more curious rather than anything else. And it would appear the spell that would do what I want is not on any of my spell lists.
Aw. Well, out of character, Hawk didn't lose his proficiency with Tinker Tools.
So when Hawk returns, could work on that.
Hawk, buddy, my man.
Can you make me a ring that'll cut myself?
You know
That
it.
has a hideaway blade for cutting myself.
Hawk looking at Tobias concerned.
I
Why?
get
Don't worry
why.
about it.
That's incredibly strange.
At which point you would only need to sneak in a ring if you needed to go anywhere and just feel like, hey, look, this weapon's now significantly more efficient.
Want to write on my fists.
Plans for the future.
Wait a second.
Tobias can punch people with his blood.
We have an irreputable tinkerer in the house.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I will walk away from this conversation.
What, you honestly think that Sniv can't make a ring with a hook on it?
That little motherfucker's gonna put a goddamn scorpion on that thing.
What if we gave him the rule of no insects?
That doesn't. That won't be enough to solve the inevitable problems that will arise.
I was just thinking it would be a way for him to contribute in a positive fashion as opposed to, reinforcing bad habits.
Look, I know you're doing your best to improve him, but listen, not like this. Not for this.
Fair enough. But it's something we can keep in the back of our minds next time we run into a dubious vendor again.
You can keep it in the back of your mind. Let's leave it at that.
At which point, Valk kind of salutes and like, would you like to join me for wood cutting?
Yeah, sure.
At which point we reenact the scene from, I can't remember which Marvel movie, where we start competing to see who cuts more firewood.
I mean, Tobias, it'll be funny because it'll be a one-sided competition because Tobias doesn't care enough to be competitive. He's just like, yeah, sure, I'll help you cut wood. And then Valk's like, I'm going to cut more wood than him. And just fucking starts going ham on it. So we've just got Valk on one side rapid firing, like chopping wood. And then there's just Tobias going at a natural pace.
It's not so much rapid fire. It's more like trying to hit the wood as hard as possible each time. So it's just a clean, there's no having to re-hit and whatnot.
I'm gonna find a GIF to put in the Discord chat that I hope will fully explain what my vision is.
All right. Zoda, what are you doing during this?
I imagine that she was making her way back over to the house. Since there's allegedly going to be plans today. I don't think she might have run into Lish and Demir. I considered it, decided against it. So she's probably just making her way back over to the Rose Manor.
All right. I assume you do that in the morning. Do you do anything while you're there? Do you watch this one-sided wood chopping competition, or teach children knife safety, or go through the library, or chat with Levy? What are you up to?
I think she'd be. Those were a lot of really good options, I will say. She'll probably like, if the woodcutting competition is happening while she's walking in, she'll probably glance over there, see see how it's going.
Right.
Who's winning? Who's winning?
Oh, Valk, because she's the one actually trying. So you watch them chop wood for a while?
It was more just like a passive curiosity. And once she's actually in, she'll probably take more interest in Levy's conspiracy board.
All right.
Question: does Zoda have the Arcana skill?
I would be amazed if she didn't. Let me check. Okay, yes, I was, in fact, not dumb when I was making a wizard character.
Well, then that makes it so you can more easily create spell scrolls if you want to create some time spells for us idiots who are going into a time issue.
I mean, okay, well, so there's a little problem with that. Other than that, she does need materials, which are very expensive. She is broke. And there also aren't many, if there are actual Dunamancy spells, she doesn't know them. Dunamancy in general seems like more of a concept. It's not like its own school of magic, like officially in the books, from what I can tell.
It's not its own school of magic. Instead, it draws from all of them to manipulate the flow of time around you.
Yeah.
There are Dunamancy spells.
Yeah. Spells that you could call Dunamancies have existed for a while, like slow.
I was just thinking of additional good options.
That is true.
Because we have created one scroll this campaign.
Yeah, I was
and
going
Valk
to say
sucked at it.
We do have the scroll making materials, which can be taken from party funds. So,
you know, if you want to be a nerd.
Oh, I mean, it would be useful to probably make a couple scrolls of teleportation circles since we're using that a lot. Stuff like you should probably do a couple utility things like stone shape or such whatever.
In a standard work day, you could do a cantrip or a first level. It takes 3 days for a second, a week for a third, and then it just compounds from there.
Ah, that makes sense.
But if you have any handy lower level spells,
none that really stick out per se. Like absorb elements could be useful, but that's about it. Tell you what, I'll take a screenshot snip thing of the spells that she has, and if any of them seem particularly useful, she can work on that today. Assuming that we're not also heading out to.
I was gonna say it would be a day thing.
Yeah. So if we're actually heading somewhere today, this wouldn't be the best time to do a scroll.
When are the wizards falling on our house?
not today. I think like it was just kind of a vague future plan. So we have time to go to a pious, especially because we have teleportation circle and tree walk. So
yeah,
just double checking.
Yeah. it seemed more like Lish and Demir were heading out for an errand 2 in the morning, and then they'd come back and we'd head out to Abias.
I was gonna
That's
say
right.
you guys can come back during this wood chopping competition if you want.
Yeah.
Well, we would meet up with. I assume that we should at least try and find Aaron before we leave. Not just
I
abandon.
can't
him.
imagine that we'll be able to find him.
It's more a matter of how long you're willing to dedicate to trying to find him.
I should probably mute myself while I read this sideways.
We have
Well,
both scry
yeah.
and message.
Yeah, I was going to say he did say he was going to the College of Arts. Does the College of Arts have a campus, or is it just kind of spread out throughout the city?
It's more spread out. The Katia Institute is more consolidated, whereas the College of Arts is a little more sprawling. Like
Enough.
different buildings around the city.
He could be anywhere. Well, I suppose I could try scrying on him. Pull up my little scry orb and see if I can locate Aaron.
Aaron, is that a wisdom saving throw?
Oop, let me pull it up and double check. It is a wisdom saving throw.
Hey, Aaron, make a wisdom saving throw.
Alrighty. That'll be an then, but I think he would also put in a willpower to that. So that'd be a 16.
That does not make. Asker on you.
You feel something like push you out of Aaron's mind.
Interesting. I mean, I'm not trying to get into his head, but does it prevent a scry?
He's just focusing because I don't think he gets a caller ID.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just focus a little on get out, and then you do.
Interesting. Well, can't get a hold of him this way. Should we try looking for him? I don't even know where he would be. Is there a painting department?
I feel that he will wander back home if he wants to be found.
I guess. I worry about that boy.
Yes.
I don't think he has much sense.
Well, I'm not going to worry too much about it. If he's at the university, I'm sure that he can ask for directions home if he gets lost.
I guess, but the question is, will he get back? When will he get back?
Do we need him back urgently?
I suppose not. I just was thinking we were going to head to Appius today.
Well, if we're planning on meeting with the university teachers,
Not
it might be.
today.
Well, I assume that the sooner we get any information to these people, the better. Maybe not today, but within the next day or two.
That's what I had figured. We have time, so we may as well use it.
Oh, maybe not as much time as we think.
That's true. Well, we may as well head back. I guess Aaron can catch up when he does.
All right, we'll head back.
All right. Aaron, I assume you eventually make your way back as well?
Yeah. At some point, stumbles in kind of like, I guess, swaying a little.
Oh no.
All right. So, what's the plan, you guys?
Now, where are we at with all of these different
Well,
missions?
I would say it's early afternoon at this point.
Well, I mean, as far as our checklist of stuff we got to get done. So we got our costumes for the wedding. We checked in with the professor about the Feywild stuff. We're gonna set up a meeting to talk with Alaric and her and a couple other people together. Get more of the university on our side. What else are we doing? We're going to Appius.
We were gonna
ew.
talk with Tasha, maybe return her hat, possibly correspond with Varhas on everything that's going on, since we haven't seen her in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the plan. And then after that, I believe the plan was to just head out to the wedding after we were done with our business in Appius.
Well, we can, I think we should do a teleportation circle to visit Barhasa and then use a tree walk to get home.
She'll drop herself right where she is.
So whenever everyone is ready, Demir will start drawing a teleportation circle.
All right. Let's see. It's been a long time since you've been in Opius, so let's pull up the description. And actually, I don't think Volk's been to Opius at all.
I don't think we've actually been there since the very beginning of the campaign. We've mostly just telephoned Varhasa and been like, "Hey girl, love ya, what's up?"
I think Demir and Lish went back there like really briefly to pick up Lish's bag, but
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you
I
traveled
think that
there
was
like for a day and then came back.
I think that was a married couple expedition.
Yeah. So the whole party hasn't been there
All right.
since the beginning.
Well, I will give you the description again anyway. Because once again, it's been a long time, you guys.
It has.
So the city is on the northern shore of Ivana Lake. It's fantastically situated within the country that has access to the lake, giving it the ability to go fishing and trade by the river. And it's connected to the surrounding farmland. There's also well-traveled roads leading north to Avatex, and there's almost always someone on it. Many of the buildings are marble-clad, domed, and have various columns in a once popular architectural style, characterized by whitewashed walls, ornately decorated eaves, and massive arched windows. There are the three districts of Opius. The Merchant District, then there is having to scroll through everything. The Merchant District, the Residential District, and then the Wise District. And Varhasa is in the Wise District, and that's where most of the governmental buildings are. So this is the Arcane Athenaeum, large, impressive building with multiple floors and windows covered by large, expensive-looking curtains. But you teleport directly inside without any prior warning. This room, it does have one of the windows leading outside, and then the kind of heavy curtain. Very somewhat domed ceiling to the room that you're in, and then a door leading outward. You stay in here.
We probably should have let her know that we were coming.
Why don't you give her a ring now?
I'll point down and send a message to Varhasa. Like, hello, we're here.
You say hello or here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sending a message. It's 120 feet range. So I'm hoping that her home is slightly less than 120 feet.
You hear her reply back. Oh, excellent. Where shall I meet you?
We are sending another message. We are in your tower. Quotation circle.
Okay. I shall come up and greet you then.
Sorry for not messaging ahead.
I have a question. Is Sniv with you?
That, I believe, is up to his mom.
Who's currently up, I think. Lars said that he'd be right back, and he is not yet back, so.
Okay.
Do we have a plan to go back to the manor before we go to the wedding? Because that'll probably make the difference.
That's true, actually. If we were just going to go to Opius and then immediately to the wedding, then Sniv is probably brought along.
I'm going back. I thought that we were going to go back to the manor before the wedding, but
okay.
So let's just say that Sniv is
when he comes back.
Oh, and that would also give Felicia an opportunity to find a tree in Opius.
I mean, is probably a tree in the gardens there outside of the archives.
Oh, I mean, unless he's already familiar with the tree in Opius, then just thinking about the root network, you know.
Aren't there gardens outside of the archives, or is that outside of the university there are gardens?
There are various gardens in various places, but there are the Aderin Gardens, which is a park in Opius, which it can be found in the residential district.
If there's something closer to the archive, that'd be best. I would hope that they have trees somewhere near them.
But are they trees big enough for the spell?
It just needs to be like.
Also, just gonna put out there that there is a bathhouse here in town.
I remember the bathhouse.
But anyway. So you guys leave the room and are met by Varhasa. She has with her familiar the unusually large lunar moth, kind of just fluttering by as she makes her way over to you using her wheelchair. Welcome back. It's been so long. You're muted.
I love Varhasa. That is me, the player.
Well, I'm sure that we have a lot to catch up on.
It's good to see you again, Varhasa. Have you been well?
I've been quite well, yes. Making sure to get outside, and in between all my research, it's important to take breaks every now and then.
And your brother?
He is doing fantastic.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm sure he'd love to see you all. He might be asleep, but if he wakes up while you're still here, I'm sure he would be happy to see you. He loved drawing with you all last time. So shall we head to my office then?
Lead the way.
So Varhasa leads the way over to the stairs. She activates her wheelchair and it starts to rise a little bit above the ground, and she heads back down. She leads the way to the familiar office that you guys have been in before, with the curtains and the bookshelves and desk. One that not only, Demir, you saw many times in your scrying, but also that you saw once in your dream, way before you actually even met Varhasa. But it's lovely, it's comfortable. There's a little fire going in the fireplace, warming the room. There are plenty of places for people to sit, so should they so choose. So, what do
Might
you
as well take a seat.
Yeah. All right. And Varhasa says, I can have some of the archivists bring up some tea if you all would like.
He would be lovely. And Demir will sit down as well.
All right. She rings a little bell, and after a moment or so, one of the archivists, one of the librarians, comes in, and she asks them to make some tea and with enough cups for everyone. And eventually the librarian returns, and the tea is nice. It's like weirdly smoky, and it's good though. It's been so long since I've seen all of you. Of course I've been chatting with Demir over the you said a scrying orb before, but I've missed you all, and looks towards Valk. I don't believe we've met yet. My name is Valhalla Lightstrider.
It's Valkyria Lightbringer. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And so for the sake of description, she is a drow woman with long white hair, kind of bangs that go down her forehead, and the rest goes past her shoulders to the middle of her back. It's in a braid right now, and her eyes are just naturally large, and the shape of them makes her look a little bit sad, but despite whatever she might be feeling, they're a deep blue. And she has a flying wheelchair, and her familiar is a lunar moth about the size of a cat.
Drow bugs.
So what have you all been up to?
Yeah, the world, no big deal.
Oh, so much.
There is plenty to discuss. Did we decide how much we were going to tell Varhasa? Are we telling her everything?
We simply must tell
Are
you
we telling her
everything.
everything?
I mean, I have no issue with telling her everything because we trust her, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently an honorary party member and not an official one, so. But I think it'd be a good idea to tell Varhas everything.
I think we
Great Zoda too, by the
tell
way,
her
with her hand out
everything.
for you to shake.
She shake. She's just sort of like silently in awe at just how many connections you people have. Lish can kind of hear her muttering under her breath, like, Nexel told me they have friends in other planes.
My dad's from a different plane.
That doesn't count.
I'm just realizing that Zoda does not know. Does not know the Fey royalty thing again.
You picked this wizard off the road. She doesn't know anything about you people other than whatever rumors have been circulating.
Yes, this is our pet hobo wizard. We picked it up off of the ground.
Zoda is from the Katia Institute. She has been assisting us for a little bit.
Fantastic.
I constantly feel like I'm in over my head, but so far it's been a pleasant experience.
Such is life.
But on these guys especially.
I think we'll probably like download everything that's happened. I assume.
Zoda still has her like written notes from our questioning of I almost called them liches. They're not liches. of the post-mortuitous archimages.
Yeah,
Being our pet
I mean,
skulls.
technically, the stat blocks I used were
It was a demi-lich, yeah.
eldritch liches.
Something like that.
So,
Yeah, but they themselves aren't liches. They were just turned into them, technically.
yeah, I think
But,
we
yeah.
focus on like the different plane breaking things we've seen, like the pink tree, the dragon, and some of the bubbles around Lake Levy's place. And then we talk about the mask wearer, mask maker, and the turning spire and everything kind of regarding the turning spire.
right. Well, I have been gathering reports of various, for lack of a better descriptor, planar leakage around the country. There have been reports of strange things as well. Mechanical things, for lack of a better descriptor, are being seen in some parts of the country. No one is quite sure what they were, because by the time that people tried to get a closer look, they disappeared. So that might be something to keep an eye out for. Similarly,
Elk raises her hand like a student.
Valkyria.
Last time we encountered mechanical things, it was from a future period. Could this be from? Could this be from the future as well?
That is my theory currently. It's possible. There's also been sightings of creatures that are said to have been extinct. Have any of you heard of Loxoda?
Has
No.
Lesh heard of this?
Roll a history check.
Okay.
We've at least run into the not prehistoric dragon, but the really, really old dragon.
Yeah, we
Yes.
re-extincted a dragon.
I
We
got
had an
a
encounter
3.
with it.
What did you get, Lish?
I got a 3.
Okay. You don't know. Well, Loxoda is sort of similar to centaurs, except they are elephant folk rather than horse folk. But they are said to have been extinct since the previous era, and apparently a group of them have been spotted. So it seems that whatever is happening, it's affecting both the planes and the timeline. You mentioned a dragon.
Yes, the yellow dragon.
Okay. Let me
It
actually roll and see.
crashed onto our head.
No. Well, I'm glad you're all safe. I have also witnessed myself studying in my room, and then the world seemed to sort of flicker, and it was nighttime, and I had not made any progress in the research I was doing. But I didn't feel tired at all. It just became night.
That's a little concerning.
When was this?
A week or so ago?
Does that line up with any of our stuff?
Not really.
Valk turns to the book nerds in the party. Does that line up with any of our shit?
We were like, I think we were just traveling to the Turning Spire a week ago.
Yeah.
Depends upon how the weeks line up.
So, and that's about right. I'm pretty sure. You're like either in Emeridon or like about to enter the Turning Spire, I think.
Yeah, thereabout.
Yeah, I don't believe so, but we've experienced similar time differences. We've lost weeks at a time.
And isn't Hawk technically from the future?
And Hawk is from the future.
Okay.
Hello from the future, huh?
He was. But he's not with us.
Is he well?
Visiting with his father who hasn't had him yet.
Okay.
He's spending time with his creator.
Okay.
Does this lady know that Hawk is a robot?
I don't think she does.
Again,
Creator, parent, same thing, right?
Zoda's just looking completely confused.
Don't worry about it. Time gets weird.
Okay. Well, I will also tell you that there have been reports of creatures from the Shadowfell accosting travelers at night. And I have also even been told that celestial moonkites have been spotted in the area above the lake, though I did not witness them myself.
Celestial.
And sorry, celestial what? I heard celestial mooncakes. There's no way that's right.
Celestial mooncake?
Moon
Yeah,
kite.
that's what I heard too.
Moonkite?
Hang on.
Kite, okay.
I've heard mooncake.
So did I.
Me too.
Moon pies in
Man,
the sky.
free, like the little Debbie snacks around the lake, man. Anyway.
Now I'm hungry. Thank you very much.
Those little guys.
Hey!
Oh
Those
my
guys.
God. They're so cute.
So that's what my fucking
Be not afraid.
celestial guardians look like. Or spiritual guardians.
Ooh.
AKA my little cousins.
Oh, so, have there been any, you said that there are places where people are, or the planes are leaking through. Is it consistent, or we've encountered like a tree or little flashes of places, but nothing that sticks
my
around.
perspective and the reports I've been hearing, it seems to be random, but the intensity has been picking up, for lack of a better descriptor.
Seems that the deterioration of the boundaries between the planes is speeding up rapidly.
It appears that way, yeah.
Is there an east-west correlation to frequency at all?
Not to my knowledge.
Because the biggest magical break we found was around the turning spire.
And what did this break look like near the turning spire?
Sorry, you caught me mid-bite.
I saw it myself as well. The remaining Archmage, either in the indefinite, he killed his colleagues, or in the process, or perhaps to create some unknown portal. All my professors, the professors we've shown it to, and even one of the Archmages themselves couldn't identify it. It was sort of like, I'm trying to remember out of character. Like, it was a lot of like circles and lines and stuff or something, right?
It was an unidentifiable.
Well, yeah, but we can at least describe
elemental rift, so kind of rainbowy, if I remember properly, a little opalescent.
Yeah.
And Val could be like, yes, and also there's a radius around the castle that obviously something wrong happened because there wasn't anything live around the tower by a few miles.
Yeah, the entire town was completely empty.
The town, the forests. We didn't notice any animals in the water, correct? Yeah, so a complete dead zone.
We managed to find something interesting. Let me retrieve it. She wheels over to one of the shelves close to her desk, and she pulls out 2 pieces of paper, rolled up into scrolls, and she brings them over, opens one, and it is a world map, continental map of the lakes that you're familiar with, similar to the one that you used, different art style, slightly maybe. And then she pulls out another one where it shows the turning spire as a peninsula related to the mainland. Now, I was curious. I have never been to the turning spire myself, and this one, and she taps the first map. This is the one that I am most familiar with, this map. However, examining this one, this was created by the same cartographer on the same year.
That is strange, because while we were over there, it definitely used to be a peninsula, but it no longer is. Are they made the same day?
No, dreamers. Haven't we been dreaming it as a peninsula? But when we arrived there, it was watery.
Yeah, we had a dream that it was a peninsula, but when we arrived, it was an island.
when we saw it in the did we see it in the mirror or was it just dreams?
I think both.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just saw it in the dream.
Yeah, we just saw the tower in the vision.
The tower, not the land around it, I guess.
Mhm.
I think that's good.
Could the peninsula be from the previous loop, or are those maps just happen to be the year that they filled it or took it out?
Could be an alternate
a loop?
timeline.
Oh yeah. Didn't we got the letter that confirms it's a loop and not a cake.
No, I don't think we've confirmed anything. We just sent ourselves a letter.
Yes, which if we thought to send it, it means that time's looping instead of layers.
Yeah, because wasn't, from what I remember of the whole explanation of like the letter thing was we made a promise to send it. We ourselves did not send one, but it was, if we show up here again on this same day, we send that letter, right?
Or anytime we end up in the past that we
Oh,
would
okay.
send the letter. So it would arrive on that day so we can see if future us can affect past changes. And so if it's a loop or if it's separate timelines that are happening in parallel.
Oh.
And so it's not a cake, it's a loop.
Now I understand the time cake theory. Okay.
Yeah,
It had me confounded this entire time.
Yeah.
I get it now, though. That makes more sense.
yeah, if each individual time sequence is its own
Yeah.
individualized events happening in parallel, or if we're able to affect our own timeline instead of affecting other timelines.
Basically, if it's Groundhog Day or if it's a multi-timeline shenanigan. And we just determined it's Groundhog Day.
Yes, it's loop. The end connects to the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
As opposed to being unique sequences. So yeah, it could have been a peninsula in the previous loop, and then something happened in the loop that turned it into a
It's also possible
island, which then
it's also possible that either, well, perhaps that happened because of erosion, or perhaps it's no longer peninsula because of some disaster that happened during that year, and the maps were made on separate days.
what year map? What year map from?
We know they're on the same year, but we don't know the year itself. Yeah.
The maps were made the previous year as to present.
So it'd be 1836.
Mhm.
Oh, so
a year ago, something happened
or
that needed the map to be drawn.
or the other map is from a different loop and it leaked through.
That's also possible with all the time leakage that people, Farhasa included, and all these adventures that I've pulled as well, been observing.
Because everyone's remembering it as an island and people aren't remembering Mistra. So it means that something that happened in the loop is re-affecting the loop and causing those things to be what everyone remembers instead of what it was the previous loop, which is the same loop, but an event happens that changed it. And so because the event happening changes it.
Perhaps it's less of a time loop and more of a time knot.
Perhaps if you guys
Everything's
are,
all jumbled together.
there's definitely a great convergence happening here, whether or not you guys are looping.
There
Ye-
have also been reports of Githyanki being spotted over the countryside in flying machinery, different than the strange machinery I mentioned before. And it seems that different parts of the country have been starting to experience different seasons.
Well, that would fit in with either time discrepancies or leakage from the various planes or Feywilds.
Could be any number of things, but it definitely sounds like they're just asynchronous.
And aren't Githyanki extraplanar?
Well,
Good question.
the Gith species, there are two Gith races. They used to live in the material plane, to my knowledge, but they were enslaved by mind flayers. They were since separated. Some of them choosing to exist in the astral plane, and some chose to remain in the material plane.
So either dimensional leaking or distance leaking.
Either or.
Either way, fuckery.
Those all fit into the same pattern, at least. We did hear a theory say that the planes are not so much unraveling as collapsing down into a singularity, which might also explain some of this. It's a theory, of course, but
Right. That would be interesting. And do you have any clues as to what could be causing this collapse?
Well, as the notes go,
well, the giant hole in sound might.
mhm. You're still late. You're still late for your camera just
Oh, okay.
hitched a little.
Cool, yeah, because Zoom just did the thing. Yeah, the giant hole in time space that we found in the wizard's tower might be somewhat related, and the fact that there is a missing god.
As Demir mentions the time portal, Valk makes a little teeny tiny hand-sized illusion of the portal.
Ooh.
And kind of holds hand out.
Yeah.
Farhasa
I mentioned-
looks over to look at it. I have never seen anything like that.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, not even one of the archmages could identify it. Our understanding is that Iduran tore this hole open to see his centuries lost family again. And that, I believe, is causing a paradox that is potentially causing all of this.
Or at least certainly the source of the time discrepancies.
But Hassa, do you have any information about the Turning Spire mages? In the archives, maybe?
I believe I can pull some records. What sort of information are you looking for?
The personal life of the indefinite, I think, would be.
Honestly, any information on the indefinite would be helpful, but particularly personal life, as Demir said.
If they ever got an interview, that'd be huge.
Well, I'm not sure about an interview or anything, but I might be able to try to find a biography. Um, Let me see what I can do. In the meantime, you were interested in speaking to uh, the woman formerly known as Tasha.
Yes, the hat lady.
I think that might be very interesting.
He has been spending quite a bit of time here at the archives while awaiting your arrival. I can retrieve her for you while I am searching for information on the Archmages.
That would be
That would be
fantastic.
most appreciated.
Yes, thank you, Grand Archivist.
You can just call me Bahasa, but would you like to peruse the library, or would you like to wait here while I retrieve things?
Sota, have you ever been to the archive before?
Not these specific ones, I'm pretty sure. If I've needed a book from here, I've mostly just ordered it in.
I think we should go check out the library. I think you'd enjoy it. Levy practically exploded in joy the first time we came here. He has a bookish type as well, so.
Let's head downstairs then. Varhasa leads the way. She activates her flying wheelchair to head down the stairs. Archive is as big and grandiose as when you last saw it. Various people coming in and out, examining books. It is very quiet in here, however, so that people can read in peace. There are various sitting areas and so on and so forth. Varhasa starts to go through some of the shelves, searching for the book or books that she thinks might be helpful. And one of the librarians says that they will retrieve Tasha for you. Is there anyone looking at any sort of book?
Like in the tower, Zoda's gonna scan for anything on planar travel, or perhaps how to find things on other planes.
All right. Roll an investigation check.
With pleasure. Let me actually grab the stat sheet, not the spell list. There we go. Ooh. Math, 31.
31. You're able to find a couple books on planar travel itself, such as the spell plane shift, talking about the use of tuning forks and how to attune them. Talking about the dangers of getting lost between the planes, and even some information on demi-planes that you can't necessarily even exit once you plane shift into. Lots of information.
For curiosity's sake, and I think I already know what the answer is, but I'll ask anyway. Is it a description of the spell plane shift, or is it just the spell plane shift written in its entirety like a wizard would?
Description of the
Okay,
spell.
that's what I thought. It was worth an ask.
You need to buy a scroll for that.
Yeah.
Valk would like to continue looking for books on Azamar physiology and / or magical energies, but I'll roll at a disadvantage because her prime focus is making sure Sniv doesn't need anything too important. Well, I rolled single digits on each, so no.
What'd you roll?
What is this? A investigate?
Mm-hmm.
A 4 and a 5.
Yeah, you're not really finding much. Roll a perception check for keeping an eye on Sniv, though.
Oh, Sniv is getting up to all sorts of mischief, and I see nothing. I rolled 7.
Okay. You lose track of him. Like, almost instantly.
Fuck.
Like, he's gone.
Valk pulls a dead mouse out of nowhere. Here, snivvy, 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 sniv.
All right. Actually, let me just do a couple quick rolls to see how funny this would be. Okay. I'll talk about that later. So, okay, sorry, lost my train of thought for a moment there. Eventually, one of the librarians returns, coming to greet you guys with a half-elf woman. She has long, kind of reddish auburn hair, fair skin, and freckles just all over her face. She's not very tall. She's like 5'3". And her frame is light, but there's something about her that suggests that she could be quick if she wanted to be. And looking at her face, you can tell she's about 25 years old. She also looks very tired. And she kind of just stands there quietly with her hands behind her back and isn't quite making eye contact.
Well, hello. What should we call you?
These days, I go by my birth name, Siriana.
Liliana. Nice to officially meet you.
And what do I call you all?
We are the Wild Roses. You can call me Demir.
You were the one that that was speaking in my mind before.
Yes, I'm the one who reached out to you. We are we're the ones who I don't want to say freed you from your situation, but we certainly put an end to it.
I would certainly say that you freed me from it. I'm grateful for your assistance. And she looks nervous, but also kind of confused at the same time.
I think all of us were rather concerned for you during and after what all happened.
Oh, well, I appreciate your concern. I have been traveling, seeking penance of where I can, helping people to make up for everything that happened before.
That's very noble of you. Who the fuck is this?
She's someone we met very early on in our travels.
Valk has no clue what's going on.
Tobias, like, let's just come over here. Like, pulls back to the other side of the room and stuff, and just like starts whispering, like, so this is what went down in Tasha's circus.
Zoda, like, very hurriedly
Zoda's like,
follows
get over.
along.
He's like, get over here, Zoda.
I'm already on it.
Whips out notebook.
It has been a little troubling checking in on you after the fact and seeing my friend here is we have seen you in most uncomfortable situations while traveling.
Well, I try not to bother people when asking for shelter and stuff. I end up camping at most times. As I said, I've just been moving around a whole lot.
I had thought, based on our understanding of the situation, that you, Ciliana, were rather blameless in the actions of Tasha.
Possessed, one might say, to take action.
I suppose, yes.
I don't see what sort of penitence you would be seeking for actions you did not take.
That were not your own.
They might not have been my choice to make those actions, but I still do feel some level of responsibility for everything that occurred.
You shouldn't. It wasn't you.
She looks immensely skeptical at this point. And she kind of wrings her hands nervously a little bit.
The actions that were taken in the circus something that you would continue to pursue now, or would have even considered pursuing before demonic interloping?
Definitely not. And while before performing brought me joy, I have not felt the desire to perform since I was freed.
Well, perhaps there is something more that you can do aside from performing. Something that does not require so much responsibility and penance on your end for things that something else did.
Perhaps. I have no source of income at the moment, so as I said, I've just been traveling, trying to help people. You were saying in your messages before that you wanted to ask me some questions. Was this what you were concerned about?
I think we had some unanswered questions regarding the how you came about to find yourself in the situation with Tasha, and I suppose relatedly, if you have noticed any strange occurrences while you have been traveling, or if you remember anything from before.
He kind of pauses and takes a breath, and then glances around at the other patrons of the library. Is there a place we can go to discuss this privately, perhaps?
Yes. I suppose, are there like study rooms or something in the library?
Yeah, our study room.
Yeah, let's head on over to one of those.
Okay. You head over to study room. It's kind of small. It's got like a kind of a lumpy looking couch and then a couple of extra chairs and then a whiteboard. About what you'd expect. So you shut the door behind you, and Tasha kind of sits stiffly in one of the chairs and holds her hands in her lap and like well, how far back did I describe for you?
As far back as you think is appropriate to begin with.
So I when I was younger, was training under the teachings of Agma, the god of knowledge. But I eventually left the academy and decided to train as a bard, and I wanted to have a more human sounding name, so I chose Tasha since it was close to Tiriana, and I enjoyed performing acrobatically, and liked to make people laugh, and traveled around this way for a while. But while I was traveling, I met someone, and I fell in love. And her name was
Poppy Goldstrong. And she wished to become a cleric of Lyra. But in a bargain that her father had made, he had promised his firstborn to a demon in exchange for power. And I wish to help her, help remove her from the demon and free her from this pact that her father had made. But she was killed. But her soul was freed. And so I continued to travel. And then a man had arrived in my wagon one night after the performance. I cannot remember his face, but he had a cloak on with the symbol was an eye with a star.
Oh.
He released the demon into my wagon, and I was no longer in control of myself after that. But I was witness to the demon's acts, and I could understand some of it. It wanted revenge against me for the part I played in helping to release Poppy's soul. And it had traded information away to the man in exchange for his assistance on getting revenge.
Do you know what information it traded?
Wanted to know how the demon was created and how the abyss itself was created.
So
I'm sorry,
similar
I
in
can't-
his dealings to Price.
I'm sorry, I can't give you more information.
No, that's and the man he just appeared in your tent. You'd never seen him before.
I have not seen him before or since.
That's actually more information than we were expecting. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm glad you're rid of it now.
I appreciate your assistance in helping me with that.
Well, it is not the first demonic possession we've dealt with.
Arguably, I'd say one of the more successful ones in terms of the end result.
Well, is there anything else I can do to assist you?
Said you were trained as a bard. Are you still?
A bard and a monk, yes.
That's good.
Tobias is going to speak up and say, you mentioned that while you were being possessed, you could somewhat tell what was happening around you, at least like you could somewhat see what was going on, right?
Sometimes, to an extent, it's like if your body is a home. When the demon took over, it took over your home. I was locked in the hallway closet. So somewhat of a witness, but trapped.
And in that case, if you do recall how our last encounter together went, I am so sorry. And I hold nothing against you.
I hold nothing against you as well. And if you need my assistance in the future, you apparently know how to get into contact with me.
I was going to say, we have some business with the man who appeared in your tent. If you have any interest in finishing your own business with him, perhaps we can work together in the future.
I am not sure that I'm interested in revenge, as that was what led the demon to my carriage in the first place. But if this will help you all, I would be glad to do so.
This wouldn't be getting revenge. This would be doing what's right, if that helps you in aiding us.
He very much needs to be stopped.
If you tell me where to go, and when, I will do my best.
Do we have a way? Do we have a way of setting up for not Tasha to contact us quickly in case if she sees the weird dude again. Party.
We do not, unless she goes and finds a scrying stone.
If I may, if she's already been staying with Varhasa, and she could actually probably, if she's spending a lot of time at the archives, sort of just stay there, maybe even work for Varhasa, so that she's got something for herself.
Well,
And then
either
through that,
or-
if she does see, well, I'm assuming is Eider again, she could tell Varhasa, who could then message one of us. I think she's done that before.
Do you intend to continue wandering? Or would you like a place to settle?
I am unsure at this point. The future seems nebulous to me at the moment.
What level bard is Tasha or not Tasha?
I'll tell you what, roll an insight check, because this isn't something you'd know, but, you know.
Well, no, because if she has access to third level spells, she can do sending. Also, 23.
She's a level 8 monk and a level 5 bard.
Oh shit.
Which means she just has the levels in bard to be able to send us.
These are those are levels, by the way. I gave her way at the beginning. If looking at my little document of campaign NPCs, the top 4 is Archivist Varhasa, Theoden, Echo and Egress, and then Tasha.
She's just always been level 13.
So that's why she was able to get away from you guys so fast.
I think I actually recall that.
At the beginning.
Like I was like, someone was like, "Wow, she's fast," and I think he said like she's really high level or something. I don't quite remember. It was a while ago.
And now we're almost the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah, monks are crazy fast. Anyway,
But she does actually already have her spell list here.
Yeah,
yeah,
Lish'll
exactly.
continue.
If sending's not on it, that's
Lish'll continue in saying, perhaps Valhassa could get you settled somewhere here in town. We also have a manor back in, is it Royce? We have a manor. And we could potentially find you a place
okay.
there or in town there.
You could house sit for us.
You could house it for us.
I think I would prefer to stay in Opius for now. But I appreciate the offer to stay at your home.
There is a music school in Royce. Perhaps students might benefit from your experience.
At any rate, it's
Will
an
be
open
a while
offer.
yet. I think it will be a while yet before I'm comfortable performing again.
Understandable after what you've been through.
But yeah, if you see this gentleman again, please get word to us as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
If you plan on continuing wandering, perhaps you could continue looking for any sign of that person.
Or oddities in general.
We do know who he is. Perhaps that information would be useful.
The thing we don't know is where he is.
Or
That's
when
the
he.
main
Or when, or necessarily what.
We got
Even how
who.
he is. You haven't asked how he is yet.
Yeah, so
don't
what we're
care.
saying
I
is-
don't personally care is the thing.
Also,
we
how
asked
he is,
why.
how is he's fucked in the head?
I mean, he's definitely grieving. Which is why I think it's an excellent villain, by the way.
Excuse me, there's a difference between grieving and breaking all of reality.
He broke off reality because he's grieving.
Actually, that actually is the only part about him that actually kind of tracks. I think I would also destroy reality if certain circumstances.
I would hope that you won't.
Well, it's just not a healthy reaction to loss.
Aaron visibly makes a mental note.
He is Idern Indefinite, one of 3 archmages of the Turning Spire and Island.
And a dick.
And a dick. A
Known
massive
dick.
Certified. Chunk.
Tasha kind of nods when you call him a dick and says,
And so you are certain that this is the same person?
The eye symbol is his.
You described it verbatim.
So him or someone who is powerful enough to steal from him.
Or
That
working
seems
for him.
like something that he would do. All fucked up magic.
And
he has a record of interfering with things for information's sake.
and also it's a 2-for-1 special. He gets information that he needs and he puts a roadblock in the way of us. No offense.
None taken. All right. I will see if I can do some research, I suppose, on this person.
That would be.
I can ask the archivist what she knows.
I believe she's grabbing some books on the subject as well already.
We are working with her on this issue. I'm sure that she can help answer any questions if you have some.
All right.
And you can always reach out to us.
I will endeavor to do so. I know that there's a magic shop in town. Perhaps he has something that I can use to get into contact with you. I will check later on.
And here's some money to go towards that. And Valk just pulls out what? Fuck it, 60 gold. There's a start.
Oh, thank you. Can you remind me of your name? I will try to pay you back for this.
No, you are aiding us, and everyone deserves to save the world on a full stomach.
Okay. Well, thank you.
If
Bulk, vague, weird.
Was there anything else anyone would like to say to Kiriana?
Do we want to offer her back the ear hat? Or did Hawk take the jester hat with him?
I
He
think
did,
she
but
sent
you
He
recall
sent
he
it back
sent
in a
it.
package. He sent a
Uh-huh.
letter in a package. Levy opened it last session, and it contained Tasha's hat, and
Yeah.
also 2 books for the party and the kids.
Right.
On an unrelated note, when you were coming down here, you didn't happen to see a little brown kobold, did you? Well, fuck. My charge has gone missing.
You lost Sniv in the archive.
I was gonna deal with it, but I figured this was more important.
Oh my god, Varhas is going to kill
Defense.
you.
Niv did roll a dirty 20.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Shit.
We
Yup.
can send.
Should we set up a giant mouse trap with like I don't know. what
Well,
does
I
he
was
eat?
trying to lure him in with this as Val just shakes a dead mouse.
You.
Lish will sigh and send the pixies out to look around the floor that they're on.
I pass the mouse to one of the pixies.
But Lish will look at our friend here and say, well, we do have something that belongs to you if you have any interest in having it back. And I think Volk has who has the
I
thing
think
named?
Levy,
might have-
technically.
Sure. We'll say Levy holds the hat out and Tasha says,
No, that I'd rather not have that back, but thank you.
Here's your trauma item back.
We'll take it.
After Tasha's story, I had a feeling she'd reject it.
We'll put
Yeah.
it to good use.
Hawk doesn't know that though. That's why I sent it back.
We will put it to good use. It was lovely to meet you, Tiliana.
And you as well.
I'm glad you're back among us.
All right.
So did the pixies get any sign of Sniv around the archive main area?
no.
Uh-huh.
He seems to have left the archive.
Valkyria,
I'm casting ascending. I'm casting ascending. Shit, do I not have it prepared?
perhaps we need to emphasize with your little friend how important it is to stay with the group.
You know, when I was growing up, we had these ribbons that we would tie around children that ran off in wild ways. Perhaps we should get one for Sniv.
More likely we would need a chain with a lock.
We can get one of those.
Because
Did
you
you
get
frequently
out
find-
of anything tied.
Did you frequently find yourself with one of these ribbons, Jameer?
Time to roll deception.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yes. When I
think
was a
it's
child.
prepared.
Oh, were you also a troublemaker then?
More than you can ever know.
Oh boy.
Well, Valk just kind of points between Demir and Lish.
I mean, he seems all right. I don't see how he's particularly troublesome.
You should hear the story of how they met.
And
Anyway.
I guess he did greet me in the form of a direwolf. So
I have greeted many people in the form
Honestly,
of a
one of his
direwolf.
I take what I've said back then.
Lish being a wolf is honestly one of his more tamer traits.
Him being a giant animal is tame.
See.
I find that slightly ironic, but I'll take your word for it.
I wouldn't necessarily describe myself as tame.
It's not ironic, it's perspective.
I said tame.
I don't know, your house broke.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Lish hasn't pissed and shit all over the carpet yet, so
Yet.
Sounds pretty tame to me.
I mean, so far I don't think he's had a reason. Don't give him one.
Is this happening in character? Because he will shut you down.
No, that wasn't in character.
That wasn't in character. It has been up until about now.
Well, find your Sniv then. Where is he?
I shall send a message. Are we heading out soon?
If we have any more business in here, I've researched what I wanted to find, I guess. Didn't quite get what I was looking for, but it's a start.
Okay.
You step along the way.
Hey, Sniv. We're about to head out, and we really need you back here, buddy.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. You get a quick response back. I'm ready now. Business soon.
Your microphone like wibbled a bit.
Yeah.
You said, I have a girlfriend now. I'll be back soon.
Oh my god, he did do what I thought he was.
No.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so out of character, the first time we went to Opius, there was this little merchant that Hawk visited, I remember in particular. A little kobold potion maker. All sorts of crazy mixtures in her little ramshackle tent. She didn't even know what half of them were.
Well, that sounds like a safe place to leave Sniv. Anyway, so when Valk gets the message back, she just kind of turns to the party and goes, he says he's found a girlfriend.
Sort of like leans back in surprise, like,
Aw, good for him.
I'm not sure whether to be proud of him or even more concerned.
Does that mean that he will not be joining us again? Because honestly, that sounds a bit ideal.
Well, I could see if he'd like to stay here for at least a while when he comes back. And I'm sure we could see if Farhasa would be willing to put him up somewhere.
Why does he
growing
not
up and
simply
spreading
stay
his
with his
wings.
new girlfriend?
He should stay with his new
Permanently.
girlfriend.
I do not know how kobold dating works.
I think Sniv will figure it out.
However it works, I'm sure the city guard have it completely in hand.
After a few minutes, Sniv comes back into the into the archive, holding 3 potions.
At which
Oh,
point,
my.
Val kind of squats down and she's like, "Hey, buddy, I know you know that we have to proceed onwards to Iera to take care of the business with my family, but if you wanted to stay here for a little bit, I can give you the money for room and board if you'd like."
You see Sniv consider for a moment, and he says,
Be long distance. Your family too.
That is the cutest thing ever.
I love Sniv so much.
Val just gives Sniv a hug.
Careful, don't break the potion.
Yes, sir. I am proud of you. That's very mature of you. Anyway, what's up with these potions?
He holds up one, and it's in kind of a pyramid-shaped bottle. You know what? It's shaped sort of like a D4, just for fun. And it's a kind of bluish liquid, but then like as it shakes, it changes color, and it seems to be kind of rotating through the color spectrum. He said,
This one is called Wild.
Okay.
I hope that's not what I think it is.
and then for the next one, this one is in a bottle that is a kind of round. It's a round bottle, but the stopper seems to be like a tooth of some sort, like a little sharp fang just stuck in it.
This one's called Teeth.
Excellent.
And then the third one is the bottle itself is kind of interesting. It's sort of diamond shaped, and the liquid itself is like a dark red.
This one's called Ominous.
Why?
That is a very apt descriptor.
It'll be helpful.
Do you know if this is an enhancement potion, or is it a poison to be used offensively?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do you know if which ones we're supposed to drink and which ones we're supposed to throw at other people?
You drink all of them.
You drink all of them.
Okay, thank you, buddy. Val is
Okay.
like, has all 3 of them in her hands, turns her back on Sniv, and has like this face of dread just instantly pop up on her face the moment that Sniv can't see it.
So you can add Midge's Ominous, Midge's Teeth, and Midge's Wild to your inventory.
Oh no.
Tobias just gives her a smile, pats her shoulder, and says, "Good luck, buddy."
I take it Midges is Sniv's girlfriend.
Yep, that's the potion seller.
Long distance. Oh, maybe we can get Sniv a fucking rock of sending or whatever.
Or we could just say, like, let him spend some time with her.
We
Pick
already
him up
made
every
the
now and then, see
offer.
how he's doing.
Mm-hmm. He's sticking through the Valk arc, and then we will revisit if he wants to take a vacation. Oh, fucking feral man. So bets on what these 3 potions do, party.
Well, do you know what wild magic is?
Vaguely
Like those
familiar.
pockets we kept on walking through?
Yeah, basically. I have a feeling that potion's similarly just unpredictable.
Could it be
It
wild shape?
It couldn't. Maybe it could induce wild
Time I
magic. It
held a
could do
chicken
something
and it sent me
completely
to
unrelated.
space.
It could do that. I have no idea what it could do, and frankly, it's a little concerning.
Toby,
Not
the
as
moon
ominous
bear.
as the potion literally called ominous, though.
You know, I could try to identify.
It's probably a good idea.
Well, when we have some downtime with some extra spells, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I have
I
absolutely
don't
no
think-
idea what a teeth potion could do, and I'm not afraid to find out.
I'm very concerned about what that tooth potion could do.
I hope it's
Natural
dental care.
weapons?
I really hope it's dental care.
Valk smiles, and you kind of notice that her teeth are a little sharper than you've been noticing.
All I can imagine is a breath weapon of teeth. And that is so cursed.
Delightfully cursed. Thank you
Oh.
very much.
Breathing out teeth, it's great. Why does my mind generate these things?
And of
I
course,
don't
as
know.
you know, the breath goes along, there's a bunch of teeth then like stuck into the ground or people who are getting hit by it.
Yep, it turns the terrain into
Uh.
difficult terrain.
Or that's not a bad idea. Or what's even more horrific is whatever gets hit by the teeth ray starts growing teeth wherever got hit.
I
Well,
like
only one way to
that.
find out.
Gain an
Yep.
AC. Everything tastes weird.
Ugh, no. Anyway. Well, we could go to the magic shop, see if there's anything now that we all have a little gold.
I want you guys to know that Sniv rolled a natural 20 to this woman.
Oh my god, he's a bard.
I mean, he still got a -1 to that, but I can't just ignore that.
But yeah, also don't we have that necklace to sell and
Oh yeah, we have
some of the other things?
You have like 1 or 2 things from the Turning Spire to appraise and or sell.
No, we have magic person to appraise costs.
Oh wait, right. We have just like mundane jewelry too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the magic shop would be an interesting visit since we're here. See if they have anything that could be of help. Wait a second, my brain kicked in. The mirror.
Yeesh.
The mirror of answers in
That was in
Avitex.
Avitex.
That was an Avitex. We're
Yeah,
in
but
Pious.
we can travel. How much information
also,
does
like-
that grant?
it also like took a huge favor to even be able to use it in the first place. So
True, but we still haven't enacted the send the entire party in one at a time technique yet. If we ever flub the ever-loving shit out of our roles and can't progress any further on information.
I mean, we've still got a lot to work with right now, so it's use as last resort if we use it.
I mean, we can always heist it.
You would steal from the kind Minotaur man? What has he done to you?
For the greater
Only
good.
If I had to, for the greater good.
We'd
He would be
leave
rewarded
money or
handsomely.
something.
I mean,
Just-
he didn't sleep with me, so like, yeah, let's go.
Of all the reasons.
We just need to make sure that we just need to make sure that Sniv doesn't get close to the deck of many things.
Oh no. No.
That's very true. He cannot know or go.
We do not bring Sniv to that fucking museum. Absolutely not.
We do
Oh.
not.
Sniv does not enter a 1 mile radius of a deck of many things. And honestly, a mile seems not generous enough.
Yeah, that's a several mile radius that I think we should put around Sniv and a deck of many things. Well, we can stop in the magic shop, and then if we want to trek to Avatex, I suppose we could.
Or we could
Aaron
head to
does
Aiera and get that ball
have-
rolling.
Yeah, Aaron, you do have that axe. I think that was it in no, it wasn't in Blemex. I think it was Avatex. The
Yeah,
Cold
where
Iron axe.
was that?
That was an Apotex.
Yeah.
Also,
There you
I want
go.
you to know that my cat is dead asleep, and then his tail just pooped up for no reason, but he's still asleep.
Oh, he's dreaming.
Oh, little
Baby.
man.
Also, then
That
Aaron
wasn't-
could get his blink dog puppy.
I don't know if now's a good time to get a pet.
Yeah, we're sort of facing the destabilization of time itself.
Yeah, but it could
Perfect
be an
time.
excuse to take Ranger or Druid and be able to multi-class to have some sort of animal companion bullshittery going on.
We already have too many pets in this party.
We have so many fucking pets.
Sniv counts for 3.
I can't argue that. He literally just went rogue and got a girlfriend.
Good for him, but also I'm terrified.
He brought back loot, so
That's true. That's true.
it's the second time he has brought back loot from his mischief.
How
We still
do
haven't-
kobolds like court each other? Because all I can imagine right now is that they have like the dinosaur flaps that just come out and then they like shimmy and shake it at each other.
I can imagine loud screeching noises and delivering of shiny baubles.
I gave you a scorpion. Please respond.
I gave you a rock.
Anyway, magic shop?
Anyway.
Magic shop.
Magic shop.
Magic shop.
Magic shop.
Magic shop.
All right.
Go into the magic shop.
So you may recall that the owner of the shop is a satyr named Barbus. Let's see. Right, and he's an artificer. He's got a little frog homunculus.
Oh yeah, the clockwork
Yes.
frog.
A very good boy.
All right. So, in terms of magical items, that he has available right now. He's got the bracers of archery, bracers of defense, necklace of adaptation, 9 live stealer greatsword, robe of useful items, scroll of arcane eye, scroll of comprehend languages, scroll of glyph of warding, and Tasha's the hideous laughter.
Sorry, what was